But this thing of our enemies, I've tried my best to say the ramifications of such statements, and he thought that why I said what I said about the military and the what that I was being afraid. He thought that I was scared of him. You know, America is very, they don't want to get their hands dirty like that. But Russia has been ready to bomb from day one. Proof of oppression, proof of the people that have been killed because there were political threats, meaning there were people that were being honest. And my laptop being held at that shop was supposed to be fixed for a long time. Do you know why? They were instructed to keep it there so that I won't type, so that I won't engage, so they can keep up the fuss. There's no hope there. If they succeed one day, and good luck to them. But I cannot walk with people who wish me dead. I can't. There are people out there who do have love and affection for me. There are people out there, and those are the ones that I feel sorry for. That these few this man's wife, I called out. Because no one talks to the first lady. Nah. Y'all are gone. I don't know what the response will be, but let it be serious. I've had enough rhetoric and talk here. Because in my primary country, America, we are succeeding. Call it primary country, America, because that's where I'll go. I don't want to be here anymore. With their suffering, opportunists, people that want to see your downfall just because, and I just can't. And I would like to thank the USA for protecting my family. I know you won't tell them how. That's how outdated their equipment is. But I would like to thank you from deep in my heart, Obama, for thank you for protecting my family, including my extended family. And let's talk about education. Let's leave that melancholy land alone. We have so much potential, and in my draft, so much would have been clear, and so many doors would have been opened. So let's come back home and talk about it. Schools, how they function and such. I think the biggest problem in schools, these are gangs. gangs are the biggest problem in schools. Uh, these are now schools, I'm talking about public schools. And the thing is, gangs intimidate the learners as well. And to make it worse, the teachers don't view the students as equal. The student that always does things right, always has their homework on time, does what that becomes the child that you want to help. Most teachers don't realize that in order to be successful, in order to be a successful teacher, you have to help the one that was struggling the most. I don't know why that hasn't been ingrained in them. Because when you do that, it makes it so much easier to inspire the others. Like, wow, look, that guy who couldn't, but now look at him. So it's possible. So the motivation factor within classrooms should exist. And of course, parents should also be taught about the importance of school. Now the problem is you get parents who have kids who graduate, who are in so much debt, but most importantly, who cannot get jobs. What's missing, right? What's missing is a corridor from college that ensures without a doubt that you will be employed. The institutions of learning should have that collaborative that collaborative relationship with the learning institutions. And depending on what field these kids are doing, let's say they are doing work in social work and so forth, the social workers department and such should make room for these kids coming in to have an opportunity. And there are many new brains authenticating potential, but it all starts at grade school. Grade school needs to be safer. Grade school needs to be a training institution. And what I mean by a training institution, it's like when you train soldiers, they become soldiers, right? So when you train learners, they should become learners. Conduct and ethics should be enforced. And these are basic human things. When they are not, that's when you start bringing in the social service to see this is where this kid lives and this is the situation that they face. And after that, the government should intervene, not just to help the family, but to help the child, to have the child in an environment where all of those problems won't hamper their future. This sacrifice for tomorrow needs to start today. And more importantly, Einstein was at some polytechnic and he was laughed at. His professor said he wouldn't amount to anything because he wasn't really that good at math. But he went at it. Most people think it came to him. No, he went at it. He learned and he learned and he learned and he learned, to the point where what he had learned he couldn't explain to anybody else. For example, his wife was brilliant. She was able to keep up with him and help him with some sums and stuff. And at one point she said, the level at which you are now, I will not attain. That's where the hard work comes in. And that hard work comes in for the few that know where they want to be, where their vision is. So I'm not saying bring in motivational speakers into schools. No. What I'm saying is bring in local success to come and be role models. There should be a time for that. And I'm telling you, most will do it freely. Let them look at the school environment compared to how they had it to how it is now. And from that, you get improvement. Because there are some teachers who teach just to get an income. But then, how do you defeat this? How do you say, this teacher who doesn't seem dedicated or who has her own problems? I mean, people are people. You could have a teacher that suffers from depression, as highly qualified as she is. So, how can you help the teacher? So when it comes to social services, I think it's time for social services to not just help the learners, but also to start helping the teachers. Because in some public schools, the pressure that they get is not something they're used to. Right? I will give a more brief description as I am delving into this and seeing how it actually functions, the good schools from the bad schools, and how to measure who goes where, the special classes where the really smart kids go, and to add up to their GPAs and all of that stuff. And the other thing that I stressed was these football players and sport players want to be paid because they make a lot of money from that sports, but colleges don't want to pay the learners. If that's the case, then make the start free. Like President Obama said, make the 2 years free and have that money come from the money being generated by the students playing for their college to facilitate students coming into their college. And another thing is, if these players are suffering financially, to cut them off from endorsement and what is evil. To say that no, they'll become arrogant and cocky and they will do ABC and so forth, that's a forecast. It isn't addressing the problem. The money is there, we help get the money there. Where is it going? It should go to kids who can't afford to come into colleges, because those ball players, those football players couldn't get into those colleges and needed scholarships based on sports in order for them to get into those colleges to begin with. So there are so many ways, so many directions that can be taken for college and for high school, but the most important is primary school. because that is when kids grow. That's when they learn things. I'm black, you're white, you're Hispanic, and does this matter, and so forth. So early childhood education needs to be a bit more detailed. Censoring children from things that will catch them off guard on the streets is not right. And in fact, small encounters can lead to someone's life changing dramatically. And we have to face the issue of gangs in schools and influencing schools. Their time is coming, and that is 2016. 2016 is the cleanup year. It is the year for the next generation. From my part, salute you guys.